Custom Showcase. I hope you're all doing well today on this Monday of the 26th of January of 2026. Um, it has been a while since I've done a live stream. I have been kind of busy with a lot of things. I've been trying to get videos out. Let me get this horrible dead torso piece out of here. He's decaffeinated. Sorry. Hope you're all doing well. And yeah, I'm gonna show off a couple of work in progresses. Ones that are almost done. Ones that are done. Um, Obviously these are just the place setters for this, but I hope you guys are in for some fun. And soon I'll be announcing a giveaway for everyone, and then I'll be doing a members only giveaway as well. So I'll be doing two different giveaways to start the year. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. I'll divulge more information down the road, probably next week sometime for the giveaway and everything, and figure out some sort of maybe I'll do like a lottery system or something like that. Um, but yeah, we'll go with that for now. Um, all right, so all of these are Star Wars themed. I've been kind of sticking with that as of late. These are the recent pickups that I've got. I picked up another Star Killer. I picked up a Death Squad um, Trooper. He's going to be for a custom. And I picked up the new Boba Fett. And I picked up four, you see them right here, four of the Operation Monster Force characters. We've got, what is this? General Brown, Apophis Legion, the Eraser, and Lieutenant Griffin, and what was it? The Black Watch agent, which is right here. So, pretty fun. Let me dial down my. There we go. That's a little better. It's like fuzzy when it's trying to focus on Starkiller here. That's weird. But yeah, I've been working on, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 customs right now. I have more on the way. I'm trying to kind of bolster a lot of characters that I don't think Hasbro is going to make. But yeah, these are the recent pickups I got. I thought I would just toss them in there. And this is kind of an improv 2 video as well. So hopefully you guys can watch it on playback as well in case you miss it. But no big deal either way. As far as my thoughts, I've got all four of these. I'm going to be doing I already shot the review. I just have to finish editing it. I think there's like a couple, maybe like 10 more minutes of editing I have to do for all four of the newer Operation Monster Force figures. So all of those are shot. Um, they're all really cool, and I have a lot to say about them. So pretty pleased with that. So that might be the next video that comes out. I think I got Jango Fett just before. That's why his video came out first. I don't know if I ever did a Star Killer review, but I plan on doing a full review of him as well. So stay tuned for that. Let me get these guys out of the way so we can get to some customs that's the whole point of this thing. Let me get the eraser out of here too. Eraser. I need an eraser. Let me get him out of here. He's just kind of hanging around. Have you guys picked up anything new for the year so far? Let me know in the comments. Or if you're watching this live, let me know live. Really quick little fix with him. He's actually really pretty decent figure. There's a couple things I have issues with. The arm articulation due to these hoses, which they could have engineered something way better for. But the toe, I don't know. They made a big deal out of toe articulation. I have never been a big fan of toe articulation, and major reasons why, in case you don't know why I don't like it. It becomes overly loose over time. The older the figure gets, the more loose these get, and then I end up just having to super glue it anyway, because then it causes the figure to just constantly want to fall forward because these hinges become loose. It's just like one more thing that you need to like worry about as far as aging poorly. As far as the helmet, as you can see, my helmet is further down where it's supposed to be because I went ahead and I removed that stupid inner piece on the inside of the helmet. And all I did was I took a pair of tweezers and I just kind of pulled it out. It's got a very light little bit of like glue, manufacturer super glue in there. And if you just, kind of work it from the front of where the mask starts, where his face mask is, there's like a little lip that you can grab onto it and just pull it right out and then chuck it in the garbage because you don't need it. Because if you do have that head stopper piece in there, it does get in the way and it does cause the helmet to sit way too high to the point where it's like he's like this and it looks terrible. But if you take that head piece off, then his helmet is all the way down where it's supposed to be. I don't know why they did that. Maybe they thought it'll be more secure with the head. Maybe it'll keep the shape of the helmet the way it's supposed to be. But since I've taken that out, I want to say over about 2 weeks ago, I've had no issue. So with it maintaining the shape of the head or the helmet, excuse me. But this is actually a pretty nice figure. A lot of people are kind of poo pooing all over it because um, because of that head extra piece of plastic that's in there that is removable, by the way. But they are kind of poo pooing all over this figure. Like I said, I have my gripes with it. The hoses get in the way of articulation. The toe articulation, I'm not a fan of. But other than that, I don't have any major issues with the figure itself. So there's that to point out. Paint looks really good. I love the soft goods for the comma on the back. And yeah, I don't have any issues. He comes with his, Boba Fett pistol, his newer one. Backpack looks really good. Removable missile as well. So you can use the Boba Fett missile effects from the deluxe Boba Fett. But I think it looks good. I think it's fine. The head sculpt looks pretty good too. I don't have any issues with the head sculpt. I think that looks really good. Bald Boba. But yeah, no issues there. I like them. All right, let's go ahead and get into our first custom. That's just kind of what I just wanted to kind of touch on a couple things. I'm going to scoot this up because we're going to showcase each one by itself. And the first one, I'm going to try to rack my brain here as far as the first one that I finished here. What was it? Oh, it was him. It was and I did a short. I think I did a YouTube short on this guy. But it is the Weequay from the skiff scene in Return of the Jedi. And I've been trying to bolster a lot of my, kind of skiff guards and stuff like that because we really haven't gotten any from the Black Series, to be honest with you. We haven't gotten a whole lot of like Jabba's, I almost said Jabba's like palace guards and stuff like that and denizens. So I figured I'd go with this. It's a really nice kit by Skylu 3D. And I actually purchased this off of Etsy, the kit, and then I painted it all up. And, we got some nicks right there, as you can see. I'm going to have to go back and repaint that. I don't know how that even happened. Because I know I put 2 coats on there, 3 coats on this guy. But, yeah, I used what was it? Raiders of the Lost Ark Indiana Jones body. And I got this body for, I think it was at, where was it? It was at Ollie's for like $10. So I was like, yeah, I'll dump $10 into this. So I think total I spent around 10 for the figure and then another 20 for the kit. So about $30 for the figure. It's almost just regular retail at this point. And then the paints I already had and all that stuff. So I guess if you want to, you know, add that in, you could. But yeah, this was a lot of fun, this custom. And then I just used this skiff axe from the Lando. I had an extra couple Landos lying around that I use for parts and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it worked out pretty well. I didn't even have to paint the pants. I just painted the upper torso piece, the overlays. The I want to say the biggest pain in the rear end for this guy was probably having to shave down the forearms. You got to shave those down or Dremel them down like I did, and then try and fit the gauntlet pieces on. As far as the shoulder pads were probably the biggest annoyance because they are a separate piece in the kit and you do have to find a way to super glue them on there. So I actually just took an extra piece of plastic, like a little trimming piece, and I trimmed it so it sticks out and then it holds onto the shoulder a lot better so it doesn't fall off. And he still maintains articulation with that. So, but he's a really nice piece. I'm pretty happy with how he looked. He's not 100% accurate as far as, you know, the pockets being this color. I kind of went with a little bit of a lighter khaki color for that, just to kind of break up the monotony of all the brown, because there's a lot of brown on him. Woodman, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? Um, Nice to see you. Thanks for popping in. Don't be shy, guys. Say hi. Say hi. We can talk about it. If you guys have any questions about any customs, I can also help you with recipes and stuff like that. I'm more than happy to help. But yeah, so this was the first one I completed. I completed this guy, I think, last month. So we'll put him in the background there. So there is Mr. Skiff. So the next one, and like I said, there's still a few that are a work in progress. Um, but here's the next one I completed, which is Reese. And I'm still kind of, I don't know. I still feel like there's something missing. Also, when I got the kit, it was cracked, as you can see right here. So I had to go in there and kind of fix it a little bit. I might get some epoxy, which I do have. I have some Mod Podge and go in there and fix that crack. But there wasn't anything really I could do about it. The seller that actually sold me this kit did a partial refund for me, and he was actually super nice and also sent me another one of these. So I don't know if I'm going to replace it because it would actually cause more work for me to replace it and put the new one on. So I might use that torso piece for somebody else down the road. Who knows? But it is a tougher plastic, so it's more of like almost like an ABS resin print. But yeah, you can see the crack on there. So I wasn't too happy with this guy. I was going to put him on the turntable, but you know, I figured somebody was going to be like, "Oh, you got a crack in the torso." I'm going to be like, "Yeah, I know." You know how people like to be the hey person. You know well actually. But he does fill a void for now. Maybe we'll get him down the road. As far as the recipe goes, there was a lot of work that went into this, like a ton of work to get this torso piece on. I used the Miggs Mayfield body because I have like 7 of those for fodder. Because they're so dirt cheap. I think at one point they were like $3.99 at Ollie's. So I bought a bunch of them because that body kind of goes a long way. But I still think I'm gonna paint these treads to make it not look so, I don't know, toyetic. But yeah, this is reuse. Like I said, another Jabba's Denizen that was much needed. But yeah, he was a lot of work. Like I said, there was a lot of shaving on the Miggs torso. I had to shave a ton of plastic off, and I mean like a ton. And then for what was it? What else do I have to shave? Oh, I have to shave the forearms down because I don't know, the kit that I got. I don't know. I wasn't too happy with it because I feel like the forearm should be a little bit bulkier on Reese just because he's got these big old hands and these big old kind of like Popeye arms. And I feel like this was almost like dumbed down to like, I don't know, maybe like something in between 1/12 scale and 1/18 scale. But it fills the void for now. I really like the head sculpt. The head sculpt looks great. I think it came out pretty well. I did a little bit of dry brushing on the head. Not too much. I didn't want to overdo it where it looks like he rolled around in poop. But I think that's it'll fill the void for now, like I said. Let's see. Thank you, Woodman. Thank you. I appreciate it. Doing well, plowing the 18 inches of New England snow. Yay. Yeah, man. We got a ton of ice down south. I'm in South Carolina, so we got like a ton of um, ice and stuff like that. It was essentially just like rainfall, and then it kind of turned into, and then temperature dropped below 32. So then everything froze, and then it was almost like light hail, but not too bad. Today it's starting to melt, so and we did not lose power, which is great. I was more worried about losing power than it doing what it was doing, but we didn't. So thankful, and I hope everybody out there that's dealing with this this crazy storm is doing well and safe, and I hope that everybody has power. So. No more buffalo snow for you? No, no, no. I moved 6 years ago, so I retired. I spent 37 years in Buffalo, and I'm not doing that anymore. So I gave up on that one. But since I just brought up a reuse here, Terry, what's going on, buddy? Hello. And be sure, guys, hit the like button. There's a few of you in here. I think 5 or 6. Be sure to hit the like button. It helps the channel with the old algorithm, all that fun stuff. But yeah, we can't have Reese without his bestie, his best friend. And that is going to be Mr. Yakface. Now, this guy's still kind of a work in progress with me. Double T. He's still kind of a work in progress. I still want to trim up this robe. I got the kit from Scotticus Customs, so be sure to check out his website as well. Initially, the kit, I think, was sold out, the one that comes with the soft goods. Now, he sells a whole kit that comes with the soft goods, and to kind of compare it with the vintage collection figure, which I do have, by the way. Here it is. I think I did a pretty decent job with the likeness and everything. It's not going to be like perfect, but I think it's good. It's good enough for me. Good enough for the goose. Good enough for the gander. You know. But you can get the kit, like I said, Scotticus Customs. Like I say, he does have a kit that comes with a robe that is more to the tune of this robe. But I went with the kit that didn't come with the robe because the one that came with the robe was sold out, and then I checked like 3 days later after I had already purchased it, and it was back in stock, and I'm like, fuck, can't win sometimes. But anyway, here's good old Yakface. He does include the little boot coverings. I used a credit collection Tusken Raider robe that I'm going to cut into the shape of the other robe, so it looks a little bit more accurate. As far as the body goes, I used a original Han Solo body, and that's pretty much what you want to use for this kit is the any sort of Han Solo body. Pretty much, I guess you could use the new one if you really wanted to. But I went with the old one just because I didn't really have a use for the old body anymore. I have the new Han Solo, and I think it's far superior. So I kind of used this, and I have I think 3 of these old Han Solos. So, but yeah, there's the back of the figure. Now I just have to find his little pike staff axe thingy. I don't know what that is called. I can't remember. But yeah, there's Mr. Yakface. His best buddy, Reese. Oh god, he's falling over. And now they can hang out and have drinks together on Jabba's palace. Yeah. So there's that. Next one, he is. This is still a work in progress, without a doubt. I still have to paint the hands. I have to find the proper head for this guy. And I gotta look up his name because I can't remember his name. He's one of those background characters for Jabba. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. What is his name? He's like the big fat guy in the deleted scene with Jabba. And I've already made one of them. I'm trying to find out his name. I can't remember it. It's like three of them. Greedo's in that scene. If you don't know what scene I'm talking about, it's this scene right here. Let me blow it up for you. It's this guy in the background. He's kind of got that like what always reminded me of are you gonna zoom? Hello. What always reminded me of like the same haircut that Andre the Giant had from Princess Bride. But here's the beginnings of it. Like I said, I just kind of threw the Red Guardian head on for now. But he's not, like I said, he is a work in progress. He is not done. I just thought it'd be fun to kind of show the evolution of the character while I'm doing it. Here we go. I'll find out his name right now. Someone's let's see. I think it's Devlin Shmee. Devlin Shmee. There's Bolo and Gila Yeens is the one that I did. I have to make Bolo or Bolo. He's the guy with the hood on his head. But yeah, this is Devlin Shmee. So for the body, what I did was I went actually because he's super duper duper dirt cheap. And I was looking at reference photos for Devlin Shmee, and he does have these kind of like swashbuckler boots. So I went with the Skeleton Crew. What's his name? John na 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 na. Sorry, John Nawood body because he's like $10, and the John and I would upper torso and arms up to here, and then I swapped the arms with an old Qui-Gon figure to give him that kind of like loose cuff. And then for the upper torso, what you call it, coat piece, I went with another one of these guys, which I have a bunch of these. I cut the belt off, and I used a belt piece from the Jawas as his belt that kind of goes kind of crooked on there. Cut also the holster piece off of Dr. Evazan, and then repurposed it so it's connected to this belt as a holster. And then I used the gun from Grief Karga. And then I used, you guys are ready for this, I used, what's his name? Captain, what the hell's his name? From Skeleton Crew. I used his skirt piece, which I cut off because he's going for dirt cheap too, for the coat piece. So that's pretty much what I did. And then I kind of scuffed it up, made it look dirty and grimy and like he's been walking through Tatooine. So I put some scuffs on him. Like I said, try not to pay attention too much to the head because this is not the final head that's going to go with it. I have also thought about maybe using some Sculpey and sculpting the hair around this face because I think it is a good head sculpt for this character. But I'd really have to build out the beard and such. But I don't know. We'll see what happens down the road. But he is, like I said, a work in progress. So He's not really done. I also have to paint the pants, so there's that. But yeah, uh, that head sculpt will definitely work. Yeah, you think so? Yeah, I think so too. It could. I mean, if I left it, it still kind of looks. I don't know. I'm not too happy with just leaving it like that, but I think the meat and potatoes of the head could work for if I sculpt around it. All right, so another one I kind of just threw together. I was just kind of having fun with this one. It's very simple. It's nothing that special. We'll get to the special or more specialer. That's not a word. The more special figures in a little bit. But here is just a Bothan spy that I kind of threw together last night and was playing around with. I don't know if I'm gonna stick with the color of these gloves. I do like vibrant colors. So I these are so brown. These guys are so earthy. I was like, let's switch it up. Let's give us some brightness in here. Let's liven it up a little bit. So I gave him I did paint the head. Head did not come painted. Um, and yeah, I think it looks pretty good. And we don't have any Bothan figures. I don't think we're going to get any. So I always thought, they always talking about the Bothan spies. Why not? He's got an extra pistol on his back and some binoculars because he is a spy. I still have to paint the bandolier up. I'm going to paint all these details on it. I also want to paint the belt piece. I just kind of threw it on there to see what it would look like with two belts on there. But I think it looks pretty good. Repainted the Grief Karga body. Repainted the arms. Gave him a little bit of flair with the black on the shoulder pieces. But yeah, looks pretty good, I think. I think I like this setup. And I also have to put another coat on his legs. I think I put 3 coats up here. I only put 1 coat on his legs. So, like I said, this is kind of just a guy I threw together just because we don't have any Bothans. And we're always talking about Bothan spies. And we all know the intricate spy network that the Bothans own. I mean, even the friggin' Emperor didn't want to mess with the Bothans kind of invading their planet when he was in power, Palpatine. So, just because he had dirt, they have dirt on everybody, dude. The pistol is 3D printed, and that is actually something I purchased off of Etsy. I think it was through Bounty. What was it? Bounty Hunter Supply. So there you go with the Bothan. And then next up, what did I do? What should I do? This guy is completed. It's and this guy was a lot of work too. And I want to make sure I'm saying his name right because I have a tendency to mispronounce names and then feel like an idiot. All right, let's see. Just bear with me here. This is Hem Dazon. Dazon? Hem Dazon? He's a Cantina patron. This took a lot of time to do. There was a lot of kind of me figuring out what I was going to do, and the legs are fully articulated. Everything works on him. But this was probably took me the longest to do. I want to say maybe probably about a week to do once I had all the pieces kind of figured out. I think the thing that took the most time was kind of figuring out what on earth I was going to use for him. I had the 3D printed head, which was actually sent to me with the neck piece by I think as just like a bonus piece that I bought as a kit from somebody. Which, I don't need to buy too many more kits because I have a 3D printer now, and yeah, I'm going to be printing up a ton of stuff now, so it's going to save me a ton of money. So all you really need to do is purchase the files. But anyway, the hands I actually got from an eBay seller that was also selling the legs too. And the calf pieces that connect to the feet are actually the original calf pieces from Bodhi Rook, which is the body I went with here. Now, I've seen other customs that have used the Bodhi Rook body, but they just kind of use the same Bodhi Rook feet, and I was like, well, that doesn't really look like he would look like. He's a friggin' frackin' alien. So I wanted him to look unique. These are actually, his shoulder pads are actually made out of press-on nails that I trimmed and cut down and then painted and glued onto his arm. The bandolier piece is actually modified bandolier piece from the Bosch Leia, which I had to cut, trim, repaint, and it was a pain in the rear end, but I did it. I had to trim in this very specific ways so I could re-glue the pieces back together. So like when you see the back, it's all kind of re-glued back together. So it would fit the aesthetic of the figure, which I posted in the thumbnail for this video. So what else did I do here? This is a Greedo belt that I repurposed with some bigger pockets. I think I got these pockets from a couple Jawas. I think, no, was it a Jawa? No, it was actually from this bandolier, which I actually repurposed for a Jawa because I took his bandolier and I didn't want him bandolierless. These pockets are actually from the Rebel Commando, the Endor Rebel Commando. And then, like I said, the head was 3D printed. The neck piece was 3D printed. I had to I had to remove the head, remove the neck piece, and then cut out the ball joint and Dremel in there. And then I super glued the neck into that joint in there. So it's not going anywhere. He has full range of motion in the head and everything like that. So there's no issues there. He has full range of motion everywhere in the elbows, in the knees, in the fetuses. But he looks really cool. I want to say this is probably one of my favorites that I've done recently. I did actually have to cut the legs almost in half because he's only supposed, if you look it up on Wikipedia, he's only supposed to be like 5'6" or 5'5". He's not a tall guy, so I wanted to make him shorter, at least as short as I could go without, having to Dremel into the knees. Because when I was Dremeling, really the knee joint starts like right here, so I couldn't go any further, or else I would go into that hinge joint right there. So I made him as short as I could. I think I did a pretty good job. I'm pretty pleased with how he came out, and yeah, it looks good. So there's Hem Dazan, another Cantina patron. So we're really going for the Cantina and Jabba's Denizens this year. All right, next one. Don't judge me. It's a work in progress. I haven't finished the eyes yet. The eyes are going to look psycho-ish and crazy, but if you don't look at those, I just wanted an idea. So whenever I'm doing my eyes, I always try to pinpoint where the 0 is for both eyes to look kind of even. So this is not the final product. Just try to keep that in mind. And let me look up. And I've not had very good luck lately with getting kits because this one came damaged also, which was kind of a bummer. But this is Lack Sivrock. Lack Sivrock. Another Cantina patron member. This was a lot of work. Like I said, the eyes are friggin' frackin' looking crazy because I have to shade the eyes still, and I still have to fix the pupils. He doesn't really, if you look at Lack Sivrock, he doesn't really have like crazy pupils. And if you guys have seen my previous work, you'll see that I do much better eyes than this. So this is just kind of trying to figure it out. I also need to go over this upper torso again with another coat. But this was also a lot of work. This is also a lot of different body pieces. So the lower torso piece is from the client. The legs were 3D printed in a nice soft PLA resin, which is, oh, it's just, I love it. The bee's knees. The arms and torso is actually from the new Ezra Bridger figure, and then the hands are 3D printed. The neck piece is 3D printed, and so is the head. So there's that. But this is what he's going to pretty much look like, other than the eyeballs. So try to, you know, look past the eyes right now. And I think I actually used a Sharpie just to pinpoint the eyes, and this eye is really jacked up. So, so yeah, try not to pay too much attention to that. But the kit is phenomenal. The legs look great. He does maintain articulation and range of motion in the feet and in the knees and all of that stuff. So the only thing that does kind of bother me is it looks like he's wearing two belts. But this was definitely the best body I could go with for this. Fitment is always kind of a thing. It's always kind of, whenever you're doing a custom, it's always kind of like a fitment thing. You kind of have to go with what fits and also what you have lying around, you know, that's extra. And I have a ton of client bodies because he's all over Ollie's like crazy. So, but there's Lack for you. We'll put him right there for now. All right, so we're kind of going through these pretty quick, which I'm pretty proud of. Next up, and just because I don't know what it is, I'm not a big fan of the stories. I am a fan of this guy's story. I actually found the trade paperback at a garage sale, and I was like, they only wanted like $3 for it, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And then I started reading about this character, and I actually kind of dig him, and he actually sacrificed himself for the greater good. Um, but yeah, this is Stellan Gios from the High Republic. Now, I went with this head just as a placeholder because I do have a custom head on the way that I'm going to use. This is, I think, like a friggin' Spider-Man head. But I just wanted to see what it would look like with something close to it. I used the lightsaber from Cal Kestis because he has that crossguard saber. I used the body, obviously. It's from, what's his name? From Jedi Survivor. But here's the cape and everything. Had to repaint him. What's the hell's his name? I can't think of his name. Why can't I think of his name? But I had to repaint him. He had a blue arm for that stupid force arm that they used. Dagan Gera. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Dagan Gera body. Repainted this, kind of left the boots, but I had to repaint the entire body. It was a pain in the rear end to paint this guy because there's so much stuff in the way, and then you have to pull pieces off, and then when you pull pieces off, you have to heat them up, put them back on, and then when you put them back on, you're rubbing the paint, and then it's just, it was a pain in the ass for this guy. It was actually more of a pain in the ass than you think. But yeah, so there's Stellan Gios if you wanted to. Oh, there goes the Bothan. Maybe somebody didn't like what he was doing. He was spying on somebody. There we go. So there you go. All right, so I think we are down to the nitty gritty here. We're down to the final two. One is still kind of a work in progress. Again, I'm gonna have to back up a little bit here because I'm a little bit getting too close. Let me move him because his lightsaber's just gonna get in the way. There we go. But yeah, this is actually a deeper cut. I don't know. These are all pretty deep cuts, especially this guy. But this is a pretty deep cut. This is Ranga Jix from Shadows of the Empire. I have not seen anybody even attempt to do this character yet. Let me know in the comments below if somebody has tried. The eyes are not set yet. I was just working on this before I even started this live stream. So the eyes aren't set. I just wanted to get an idea and just kind of at least show what I have so far done. This is actually the body, or the body. It's a couple bodies actually. So The I'm trying to think. The torso piece, just the torso, not the arms. The torso piece is actually an the Indiana Jones figure where he's got scars on his back and he's from Temple of Doom when he's like gone all psycho. The legs are from the client. The belt piece is from the Captain Brutus cut. I cut all the stuff that was hanging off the sides. I gave him two guns because he's supposed to have two blasters. The arms are actually from Dash Rendar. And I used the goggles from an extra wandering Obi-Wan. And then the head is actually a Gambit head that I had 3D printed. So I think it works really well. Like I said, I just got to set those eyes, and then he's pretty much going to be done. Maybe put a little bit of shading on the face, and yeah, he'll be done. This was his look in Shadows of the Empire, and I'm trying to bolster a lot of these Shadows of the Empire characters. But yeah, I think this worked out pretty well. So there we go. Maybe I'll get the balls one day to do what you call it. What's his name? The big Giz or Jizz, whatever his name is. So there's that. But yeah, he was a lot of fun to put together. Coming up with the pieces for him, I'll say this: a lot of the customs that I have found as far as recipes go, I've noticed that a lot of like I'll bring in her that I'm going to be working on. This is a Juno Eclipse that I'm working on. I don't have the head yet because I haven't made it yet. But the legs are actually from a adventure series. It's from what's her name? Elsa. These are the Elsa legs, and I thought they worked way better than those puffy pants because Juno Eclipse doesn't wear those big old Imperial puffy pants. She has just like kind of straight legs. And then the upper torso piece is from what's her name? From Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I just repainted the whole thing black. So head sold separately, that's right. But I did paint her skin tone already, so I know what skin tone to go with. That's usually like little reminders I try to set myself. It's like a little post-it note, so I know. But yeah, that's going to be my Juno to go with my Star Killer. But she's like I said, another work in progress. But yeah, he was a lot of fun to kind of figure out. And like I said, before I got in the way of myself here, my thought process, a lot of adventure series really meld well with the Black Series figures and vice versa. And also, I want to say some Marvel Legends stuff does work. The scale is a lot larger with them. So you kind of have to pick characters that are already really larger, taller characters. Um, I've got a couple more characters on the way. Whoa, let me get this off there. As far as kits go, but I still have one more to show you, and I think she's pretty much completed. It is a she, and it's probably not everyone's favorite. But you know what? I don't mind the character design, and I actually think this head sculpt is way better than what she looked like in the video game. And that's I did a Kay Vess because I guess she's kind of a part of that whole Shadows of the Empire scene. Even though I'm not a big fan of Disney lore, I'm more of a kind of old school EU dude. But you know, I think she's kind of pretty fun. As far as her design goes, and the custom kit that she came with, excuse me, as I can't really articulate properly here, was a lot of fun to paint. She's kind of an amalgamation of a few different things. She is the Jyn Erso torso and legs. Obviously, that's blatantly obvious here. But the arms I actually used from the General Leia from what was that? Last Jedi. I used those arms. I used this little wristband piece that she has on the one hand from a piece of the Captain Brutus, and I just kind of cut it and glued it together, and then I made her like a little cuff piece, whatever you want to call that. The kit came with her blaster. That's kind of her blaster right there. You can see. And then the belt came in the kit. The bandolier came in the kit. The what you call it? Blah, 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 blah. The uh, vest piece. I can't think of. Oh my god, I can't talk. But the kit's really cool, and actually you can see there they're sculpted as her little grapple hook piece from the game. And everything works, everything functions. She's got full articulation, range of motion. Here's the head. I think it's actually a better sculpted head than what it looked like in the game for the game model. So, but I still think that the character should have been customizable as far as her looks go. Should have been able to switch her hair. I actually didn't mind the hair. I thought the hair was kind of unique for her, very 70s looking. So I didn't really mind the hair. It was mostly just her horrible chin. My God, the Robert Zadar chin that she had. But I think this head sculpt makes her look a lot more lively. You know? Yeah, the game it wasn't too bad. Just it was it was a little monotonous, a little unfinished. I felt like, and at times I want to say if I have any criticisms, I would say it wasn't necessarily boring. It just kind of felt like I was doing a chore playing the game. Some at times, not all the time, but at times. So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think she's too bad of a character. Really, she's not girl bossy. She's just kind of she's kind of at times kind of a doofus, you know. But yeah, there's KVS. I don't have Nyx. I don't plan to get him. I don't think, but she'll go in my Shadows of the Empire area with Jix and the rest of the figures like what was it, Dash and my Luke and all that stuff that I showed off. I guess I can go grab those if you guys want to see them. Would you guys like to see the other customs I have? Yeah, but overall with the game, I think it's a serviceable game. I don't think it's like I think people were expecting a 10 out of 10 with that game. And it's a solid like 5 out of 10, I think. It's an average game. The space combat was the weak point for me, but everything else was okay. Yeah, I just kind of, at times it just kind of felt like the worlds that you were on were either too small. Like when you go to Kamimi, I think it is, or Kajimi, it's so small. Like you're just kind of walking around the township, and it's like I feel like you can just walk it in 10 minutes, and you've seen everything and done everything. So that's how it feels. I'm not saying that's how it is, but you gave it about a 6 out of 10. Yeah, 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 I think when I first played it, I was like, this is like a 4 out of 10, a 3 or 4 out of 10. And then, I played the whole thing, and what was it? The DLC went on sale, like deep sale lately. And so I picked that up recently. I think it was like $5 for like both the pirate one and which I still haven't played that one yet, but I have played the Smuggler's Gambit or whatever it is, Lando's Gambit or what, I don't know what the hell it's called. The one with Lando in it, and you have to gamble and stuff, which is really fun. I could play Sabacc all day, man. That's actually how I learned how to play Sabacc, was in the game, which is pretty cool. So yeah. Um, if anything, it's a nice Sabacc simulator. You could always play that for hours on end. So there's that. Yeah, but I would stick to for me, I think it's a 5 out of 10. I don't necessarily think it's the worst game in the world. There were a lot of glitches and a lot of issues with the game when it first came out, but it's in typical was it But I'll go grab a couple more. Here's another one that's a work in progress. Also, um, if you can guess what I'm going to be using her for, I did paint the boots already, so that might give it away. But you've made some amazing customs, buddy. Got to run. Uh, Head back out and move snow. Have a great evening, guys. Yeah, you too, Woodman. Thanks for popping in, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, buddy. And no, I will not be rooting for your New England Patriots because I hate them. So sorry. Sorry, I'm a Bills fan. I will never root for anybody in my division other than the Bills. So, but yeah, have a good night, and thanks for popping in, man. I appreciate you. How dare you? How dare you? Hey, Sabres are doing better. They're doing better as best as they can. I guess he's really not kind of a custom. I just kind of glued the bandolier to his shoulder and fixed the piece I cut off. That's about it. But I think it looks pretty good, just like that. I did buy a couple more Jawas too because I felt like I was, lacking in the Jawa department. Let me go grab those other customs, and I'll be right back. And we can showcase those. All right, I grabbed some other customs for you guys to see. I have showcased these, I think, in either shorts or their own showcases on their own. So if you guys want to check those out, you can. I'll give the full what you call it? What am I gonna say here? I give the full like recipe in that video. So if you guys want to check that out, you can. But here is my Shadows of the Empire Luke, which I love this Luke. He's friggin' fracking awesome. The head I did paint myself a long time ago. I want to say I probably painted this head back in like 2018. But yeah, I think it looks pretty fun. The kit is actually from and it is comic accurate. The kit is actually from one of my favorite customizers out there, Syndicate Customs. Be sure to check him out, man. He's an awesome dude. Works out of Australia, but great dude. Has great contact skills. And he will, if you message him, he'll message you right away too, and he lets you know. His orders do take a little long, but I think it's worth the process of waiting if you don't have a 3D printer. Like I said, I just got a 3D printer for Christmas, so yeah, looks really good. Love it, love it. Like I said, I'm really trying to build up that whole Shadows of the Empire scene and all that stuff. So, and then to go with this guy, I'm gonna move him for a second, get him out of here. I got Mr. Yeens to go with him, which I made that figure I think last year. So we got almost that whole scene for that whole deleted scene. We've got a couple more characters to fill out, but yeah, this one was actually a lot of fun to put together. Kind of figure out what I was going to do with how I was going to put him together. But I think it worked out pretty well. So there you go. There you go with Mr. Yeens. I'll leave him over there. And then, was it Tessic? Which I think he's the most recent that I finished as far as a video for. And he was a lot of fun to do. But yeah, so another Jabba's Denizen character. He was a ton of fun to do. And I glued the cape to underneath the cowl piece, or I guess I don't know what you would call that, but uh, but yeah, go check out those videos if you want to. But there's Mr. Tessic, and we'll move Luke over here with his Shadows of the Empire people. And it's so nice to have Dash and those guards that we got in that 2-pack with what was it, Bosch Leia and Prince Shizor. And then what the heck is his name? I can't remember it offhand. I don't know why I have such a problem remembering people's names. It's like if it were like a friggin' wrestler, I would know it right offhand. Well, I guess maybe not modern wrestling because I don't really watch that, but any old wrestlers? And usually most characters I remember. Oh, Velkin Tezzeri. Here's Velkin Tezzeri. Really got to back up the camera here because it's just, I got too much stuff on the screen. But he's one that I finished last year as well. I did a whole video on him. So if you want to check that out, you can. There you go. And that's me catching up with all of my customs there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't want to go on too long. I'm just about to hit an hour here. We'll put Velkin over here with his Jabba people. He was a fun one to do. Oh! Don't knock Mr. Yeens over. You gonna stand, bud? You gonna chill out? Okay. And we'll move you over here, Stellan. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're watching this on playback, let me know in the comments below what you think. If you have any ideas of other characters, maybe from like anything themed with EU, which I have way more customs that I could show off. I could probably go on for another hour showing a ton of characters, including I have like a ton of Luke Skywalker customs I've done. So let me know in the comments if you guys want to see that stuff. I am going to be doing other figure reviews, other outside of the Black Series, but I've been really focused on a lot of Star Wars stuff lately. I did get my Mezco, what you call it? Oh my god, Nightwing in to go with Red Hood and the rest of my Batman Mezcos. So I'm probably going to do both their reviews together. And I have a lot to say about this guy. I know I've been kind of putting that off, but I've been getting really spending a ton of time with customs, and they take a lot of time out of your day. Like I've had the last like 3 days off, and I've just been kind of hanging out with the family and just finding time to come up here and just paint and do stuff and figure out different customs and trying to be as creative as possible. Try to keep the brain working, keep the brain going, you know. But I think the only other thing that I got recently was this Ghost Qui-Gon. That's it. To go with my Ghost Yoda and Anakin and Obi-Wan. But I have the real Ghost. I think I had those like 3D printed years ago. But I like the figure, the Ghost figures too. I'm trying to think what else. Did I? Oh, I have some ideas for a couple other customs. Like I want to do an X1 and an X2. If you guys know, now that's going to be a real deep cut. If you guys know who X1 and X2 are, let me know in the comments below. But I plan on doing customs of both of them. And yeah. So that should be a journey on its own. But I think I have a lot of pieces that I want to use for them. So, but yeah. Um and I also even make not just your traditional established characters. I also make like some original characters that I come up with my own lore too within the Star Wars universe, you know. So there's that as well. I think I've even made some extra like pirate characters and stuff like that, space pirate characters and stuff, and smugglers and bounty hunters and fun stuff. So, but yeah, I'll draw it here. I'm at 60 minutes now. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below if you're watching this on playback. Thank you to everybody who kind of tuned in today and said hi. Thank you to Woodman. Thank you to Terry Turner for continuing your memberships. If you guys want to join up, become a Jive Turkey memberships, you can just hit the join button if you want to. Um, or if you just want to like, comment, and subscribe, that's free to do for you and me. And yeah. But yeah, stay tuned also for a giveaway announcement video. I'll probably just do a short explaining it because I don't want to do a whole video where you have to waste your time and watch a whole video. So I'll just do like a YouTube short explaining it, what you got to do. And then, yeah, I'll be doing a members video and I'll be doing a regular subscriber giveaway. So stay tuned for that. Hope you guys enjoy this video, like I said. And let me know out of all of these, which one is your favorite. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy your collections. Have fun. Enjoy life too. And I'll see you guys on the flip side.